All right, so today I want to talk about a question I always get, which is wholesaling illegal? It's kind of the age-old debate that us real estate guys constantly have. And the answer is a definitive yes, no, wait, maybe? The right answer, I think, is it depends, okay? It all depends on how you structure the deal. So this is what is illegal: getting paid a commission. Now, a commission is when you assist a buyer and a seller, do a transaction, and you get paid for doing that. So if you're involved in that process, bird dogging can often be illegal. If you're in a commission type situation where you're getting paid a fee for helping a buyer and a seller do a transaction, you need to be licensed. So this is governed by the state. The commission board, the Board of Realtors, is really big into this, but it's really the state level of licensing, real estate licensing, that mandates that you be licensed. And the reason is to protect the consumer. So if you're licensed, then you've been educated, you're held to a certain standard, and you're not going to put a buyer and a seller in a situation that would be harmful to them. Okay, and that's why we have real estate law. That's why they have commissioned real estate is for licensed agents. Now, the way that we work around that, if you're not licensed, is we do what we call a wholesale deal. Now, the way you do that is you have to get a property under contract, and then you are signing your contract. So you're the buyer. Initially, you're the buyer. You've got this deal. You've signed on it as the buyer. That contract has a clause that allows you to assign your contract, and then you assign your contract to a different person, a cash buyer, who then steps in and is held to the terms of that contract and pays you a fee for assigning that contract. So a lot of wholesalers, they gray this area here. They cross the line a little bit. They don't do things exactly right, and that can get you into trouble. You can get fined by whatever state you're doing your deal in. They can hold you accountable for that, and you don't want to be in that situation. So if anybody ever says wholesaling is illegal, it's not illegal if you structure it correctly. And some states like Ohio are a lot tougher on this. And I'll tell you a quick story. I actually had, in the state of Idaho, I had a bird dog who used a realtor, made an offer with that agent on a property that was rejected. That real estate agent was upset for some reason. They reported to the state of Idaho. The state of Idaho fined me $2,500. Now, what the state of Idaho said is, it said, my intent was to buy that property and to pay that bird dog a fee that would be considered a commission. Now, it was all an assumption because the property wasn't even accepted, but that's what Idaho did. They fined me $2,500 because they said my intent was to do a commission sale, even though I didn't even have the opportunity to do it. So you may run into that situation. Where I went wrong there was that bird dog had made the offer in the name of my entity. So think about that. He made the offer in my entity, so had it been accepted, then I would be the buyer because he made the offer in my wholesaling entity, and then I would have had to have paid him a fee, or I would have paid him a fee. So it would not have been, in their mind, it would not have been an assignment because the offer was originally made in my name, not his name, for him to then assign it to me. Does that make sense? So that's where I went wrong. But here's the crazy part. The offer wasn't even accepted, so I didn't even have the chance to do it. But that's what Idaho said. They said we looked up the law. The attorney for the state of Idaho said, it had something in there that was ambiguous enough to say even making offers is considered violating licensing law, was what they said. Now, we even had a real estate agent in the transaction. So where realtors get really hung up on this, real estate agents, and I'm a licensed broker, so I can say this, that's their livelihood. They want to be involved in the deal. So if you're out there doing wholesale deals without real estate agents representing that, then that cuts into their business. So they're not too keen on that. They're not too thrilled with that. So there's a lot of lobbying that goes on with wholesaling and trying to be strict on the laws there. And it's coming from the licensing, the real estate agents, the Board of Realtors especially, because again, they're cracking down on that to protect their business, their livelihood. So, but again, if you structure things correctly, and you dot the I's and cross the T's and do everything right, then you should be fine. But make sure you're getting a contract, a legal contract in place, you're signing as the buyer, and then you're using an assignment to then transfer ownership of that contract to your cash buyer. And there's really nothing anybody can say about doing it in that regard. All right, hope this was helpful. I'll see you next time.